a new journey that we are doing now. This Goraksha Samhita opens the statement with Sri Gurum Paramanandam Vande Aham Vande Iti. I salute, I bow down. And when I salute, I bow down. So there is a reverence, there is gratitude. Also there is Shraddha to get the knowledge. Before knowledge, I have Shraddha to gain something. After knowledge, there is gratitude. And in between, only dedication. Or in the process, there is dedication. And what sort of Guru? He says, Paramanandam, and who is also Sri Guru. Both words we have to look at. So Paramanandam means the one who revels in Anandam, that which is Paramam. So the happiness, that which is absolute. Paramanandam. And who is he? He is or she is Sri Gurum Iti. The Gurum who is embodiment of Sri, the prosperity. So you can say both external and internal prosperity. And moreover, also we have this culture, not like Mr. Mrs. culture, but here we have this culture, we generally don't call anybody name straight away, any revered person straight away. We add this word Sri for male, and like we have this, especially during marriage card, I really enjoy. So they will write, Chiranjeevi. So this boy, before boy, they will add Chiranjeevi. Chiranjeevi means the one who will live long. In fact, who is not supposed to die is called Chiranjeevi, okay? The one who is always alive. But here, I can say one who will live long. And interestingly, they will write for the girl, Saubhagyavati. Very nice concept. So Saubhagyavati means only when husband is alive, the woman is called Saubhagyavati, is blessed indeed. And let me not get into the controversial aspect. Only that time they are highly respected before marriage, okay, before marriage and during marriage. After that, nobody looks at, okay. But here, what we say, that everyone is being respected with reference to Sri or Srimati. Sriman, Srimati. However, with reference to Guru, always we attach the word Sri Guru, Sadguru. So these are the words have been attached unless a person hijacks the word and starts marketing. Okay, that's another different thing altogether. So here he says Sri Gurum, that who is Paramanandam. At the same time, beautifully uses this word, who is Swananda Vigraham. So Vigraham means the avayava or the person's body. So the physical body, ityartha. So that means that physical body itself is anandam, it happiness. So that means the look also of a person is good, ityartha. So the person is the embodiment of self-delight. That is what we put it. Why? Because he puts it very nicely. This is what you have to understand the link. Yasya sanidhyamatrena. Sanidhyamatrena. It should be sanidhyamatrena. By associating oneself with that entity, with that person, just whose mere presence itself, what will happen? Cid-ānandayate tanu. This is the unique point in Agama Shastra. So there is a technical difference between Vedanta and Agama. Let us clarify this point. What is the technical difference? So the technical difference would be that in Vedanta Shastra, we have this concept of Jivan Mukta. So we have Videha Mukti, also Jivan Mukti. So what is Videha Mukti? Videha Mukti means after death you will be liberated. That is how all the religious people talk about Videha Mukti, going to heaven, etc. Whereas when it comes to Vedanta Shastra, the unique point is what? That there is something called Jivan Mukti. So Jivan Mukti means when you are alive, being alive, you can be liberated. Not necessarily that after death you will go to heaven or you will travel somewhere, Vaikuntha or Kailasa, etc. So this new concept that is being highlighted in Vedanta Shastra, Jivan Mukti. So there we say very carefully that Jivan Mukti means being associated with the knowledge and allowing the Prārambha to get unfolded, so that you don't have any attachment, you don't have any sort of negation, neither you are, welcoming or you are repulsive in nature with reference to your Prārambha or with reference to your situations. So whatever you are having, you just allow to happen. So this is the concept that we have been talking in Vedanta Shastra. Whereas in Agama, there is a difference. You have to make your body also to live as long as possible. This is Vedanta point, okay? They will say, body can live permanently, okay? Which what can I do? When a Vedanti takes Agama Shastra, also will try to twist. I remember when Pujya Swami was taking Yoga Sutra. So he twisted everything, okay? So we didn't understand where is yoga and where is Vedanta. But what can we do? But technically, the difference you need to understand here that in Agama Shastra, they make sure your mortal body should be immortal. It's an amazing concept. That is how all these Siddha people in South India, they live thousands of years. In fact, I will tell you something very interestingly regarding this Goraksha Sampradaya, which, in our childhood we have seen, we have gone through. Very nice concept. Through the songs they start singing, how they do sadhana. That's why they will have mainly a vessel made up of this white pumpkin. Okay, so they remove that white pumpkin, and from that, it will be, this is long gourd. Okay, that's another type of gourd, okay, not white pumpkin. So one type of gourd, so they really make it. And why they make it, that is a big concept. I would like to bring this concept here. The concept is that first day when you eat whatever, and you clean. And while cleaning, you are supposed to rub the top portion on the sand or on the stone. So when you rub, at least few mm of the vessel will be smaller. So in 1 month of time, 2 months of time, you will discover that few centimeters have been reduced. And in 1 year of time, you will discover there is no vessel. And technically, you cannot eat any other vessel. So by that time, you try to follow this thing in 1 year of time or 2 years of time maximum, you will discover there is no vessel and there is no need of having food. So you come to that stage. So they make sure that you don't eat. In fact, in present Chhattisgarh, nearer to Orissa border, so I think I should go sometime to see the person. So there is a person now, very interesting thing to observe. So when he was a child, now many years he is sitting. So he literally caught his tongue and offered to Lord Shiva and sitting. And he does not eat. That is what the news is. I would like to see. He does not eat. He just drinks water. That too once. And he doesn't bother, just sits. That too outside. And he does not move, nothing. And he wants to sleep, he will sleep there, sitting. And many years, he is just sitting there. In fact, very rarely, they say, once in a while, he drinks a little bit milk. That's all. Other than that, nothing. So this is one type of, this is Goraksha Nath Sampradaya, they do all these things. So that means he has mastered that trick. So making sure, that's why we say, unless your body is cooperating with you, you cannot have liberation. You cannot say, I am Brahman, if you have only severe back pain. While attending my class, what you will say? When the class is going to get over so that I can lie down. Or else you will say, Swamiji, what is there? I can tell, sorry Swamiji, I am not available, okay? Or may I attend class without video so that I can lie down and listen to you. Or stretch myself and listen to you. You understand? So when there is severe back pain, literally you don't bother about Brahman. So if you have little bit problem with reference to body, Brahman goes somewhere. You understand? So here he says, you need to also master your body. If you don't master your body, you cannot master your mind either. That's why this Yoga Shastra becomes most important. That's why the Sat Karma becomes more important. That's why to purify this gross body becomes most important aspect. And moreover, if you observe yourself, when the body is purified, you are elevated. Your mind will respond accordingly. With impure body, you cannot have high thinking, you cannot have purified thinking either. It is not possible. That's why body to be taken care. In fact, all sadhanas starts with body only. Remember this point. Not torturing, not destroying, but at the same time, while taking care of the body, we need to grow out of the body. And that is what here says, cid-ānanda tanu. Beautiful concept that this body itself, not the mind, not the concept, not understanding that I am Chit, I am the awareness. No, the body itself transformed into pure consciousness and happiness. How there are certain tricks and techniques available. For example, as I gave you the example of this sadhu who is in Chhattisgarh. So for him, when just drinking some water, how does it matter? I'll give you another example I have given few times. Like when this East Coast Railway was being made, so near Warangal in Andhra Pradesh, when they were digging to make a bridge, they came across a body, a person who was in meditation. In fact, there was bloodshed as they dug, and with great difficulties they brought him out. And after some time, he started talking, and he asked the first question, "Who are you people?" So for whom you are working? They said, "We are working for ourselves." Ourselves means India is independent. He said, "When India became dependent?" "And what is India?" Then they asked, "What happened where?" He said that, "Look, when Akbar was ruling, during that time I had gone into Samadhi." Imagine, few hundred years he was in Samadhi. And they brought him. Then after that, nothing could be done. So he had to, great difficulty, ate something here and there, namesake. And because he started eating, definitely what happens, he really passed away in few years of time. It did not work. Why and how? I'll give you another example. There are tricks and techniques to understand. Another example is that very good example. This people, those who wrestlers, very old story. So there was a person who was a great wrestler, whereas it's a true story. And another person was not great but was coming up. And the person was very fat, the other one, he can do anything. So this junior one said, "Look, I will do wrestling with him." Other said, "Are you sure that you can win?" He said, "Yes, I am sure I will win." "How is it possible? What made you to say that you can win?" He said, "Very simple. I went to see him after he went to the toilet, because those days outside toilet." What is the connection? Went to see the toilet and you will win. Yes, because after, using or attaining the nature's call, the place was very smelly. This is the concept. Means the remains of him was very smelly. Means his energy is not good, his fire is not strong. Means he is consuming more than what he is supposed to eat. So that means energy is being used to digest food. Instead of food supposed to give you energy, you consume energy to digest your food. Can you see the logic? So because his remains are smelling, that means his energy is not good and I can defeat, and he did it. So it's a very small point to observe, but very big meaning behind. And being Ekadashi, I am highlighting this point, okay? So that's why you cannot eat more what you are supposed to. And how to know? Very simple logic. When you use bathroom, your toilet, there should not be any smell. Simple logic. Can you see the concept, how it works? Through that, you start taking care of your body. So if smelly bathroom, that means your body is not pure. especially your intestine or internal body is not pure. Very simple logic. So you need to work with your body very carefully. And there are many tricks and techniques to follow. This is just to begin with. And that's why he highlights this point. Cid-ānandayate tanu. The tanu itself, the body itself, transforms into pure consciousness and happiness. That means the body is never a burden for a person, both physically and mentally. So when Vedanta talks about completely mental, that in mind I don't associate, whatever happens, complete dissociation, like reading newspaper with reference to death incident. As I read the newspaper, oh, so many people are dead. Okay, that's all. But when my relatives are there, what happens to me? I read newspaper again and again. Which area? How many people died? Okay? Whereas if I say that, like in recent earthquake, so many people died. Only you read what? The headlines. Did you read who died, which place happened? Never. Suppose your person, somebody is there in that affected area. What will do? You will read the news again and again to make sure whether your person is there or not. So also Vedanta is like that, reading a death headline and you don't bother. So if this is the case. Now next verse. Namaskritya gurum bhaktya Goraksho jnanamuttamam abhishtam yoginam vrute Paramanandakarakam. As we have this tradition, anything that we do, we make sure that we first worship, respect, recollect, remember our Guru. So without remembering, without bringing the Guru in the forefront, we don't do anything in life. That's why he says, Namaskrityam Gurum iti. So having saluted the Guru and have bhaktya. So you can shout, shout at Guru and say Namaste. You understand? To make sure that everybody should know that you are doing Namaskaram. And some people will say, Swamiji, can you come to, this east side? Will you please face towards west so that I will do Namaskaram facing east? Especially in South India, okay? They will make you to push. Come to this side so that I'll do Namaskaram, okay? So what choice do you have, okay? Nothing much. And of course there are people, they do Namaskaram differently. Let us also not talk that either, okay? It's not good. However, he says, doing Namaskaram with bhakti. So when a person does Namaskaram with bhakti, with devotion, so that means the person's insecurity, the person's likes and dislikes, the person's agenda never comes to forefront. Because what happens in our life, when agenda comes to forefront, we become judgmental. Again, I am repeating. When agenda comes to forefront, we become judgmental. And we don't mind to judge anybody and everybody, including God. Especially if you observe when you go to a temple and where your agenda is in forefront, what you say? Actually, this God is energetic. And in India especially, that God is popular who gives or who takes care of people agenda. A God is a God, you understand? But we have made this God is meant for marriage. You know, we were in Nitya Kalyana Parimal Koile, okay? So people come, and some of my guys also had come there to do Pradakshinam. I don't know what is happening to them now. Better not to know, okay? So people used to come regularly just for marriage, okay? So they expect if they go around the temple and somehow Kalyanam marriage will take place. And it happens, okay? Not that it doesn't happen, okay? Many cases has happened. Few of them didn't get, that is a different thing altogether. So, okay, let me not get into. However, so here he says, I need to do namaskaram with devotion. And here what he says, Goraksha himself. So Gorakshanath, he himself does namaskaram to his teacher. And who is his teacher? Maschendranath iti. Why Maschendranath? That is another, maybe some other time we'll discuss. And he says, look, to what he is doing namaskaram, in order to do brute jnanamam utamam iti. So he is going to impart, he is going to talk, or he is going to express this, which is jnanam, that to uttamam jnanam. In order to impart, in order to teach the supreme knowledge, ultimate knowledge, he is doing namaskaram to his guru to make sure that whatever has been taught, whatever has been handed over to him, faithfully he wants to hand it over without creating any confusion. Or else each one will add their own confusion, as you know what we do in our day-to-day life. And what sort of, he says, Avishta yoginam. This knowledge is definitely cherished by yogis, desired by yogis. They want this. And not only that, it is also Paramananda Karakam. It becomes Karanam. Karakam means that which makes it to happen. So this becomes means for Paramanandam, the Anandam, that which is Paramam iti, the happiness that which is ultimate, supreme. So that means the liberation ityarthaha. Now, after doing this, of course, he is going to state, next verse, we'll read and stop it. Goraksha Samhitam Vakti Yoginam Hitakamyaya Durvam Yasyavabodhena Jayate Paramam Padam.